Have you ever started your day with a warm bowl of oatmeal, expecting a boost of energy and comfort, only to feel, well, not quite right afterward? Perhaps a bit bloated, sluggish, or even experiencing a strange discomfort you couldn't quite pinpoint. It might feel counterintuitive because oatmeal is celebrated as a health food, and rightly so. It's packed with fiber, can help manage cholesterol, and is a fantastic way to begin the morning. But here's a surprising truth many don't realize: even the healthiest foods can cause problems when paired with the wrong companions. It's like trying to mix oil and water. They just don't get along. And the result can be far from beneficial for your body. Especially as we get a little older and our digestive systems might be a bit more sensitive. You might have been adding things to your seemingly healthy oatmeal that are unknowingly turning it into something less than ideal. Sometimes even creating what feels like a toxic reaction in your system. It's a painful reality that something we rely on for health might be subtly working against us just because of simple additions. In this video, we're going to uncover the secret behind this. We'll look at 7 common foods you might be mixing with your oatmeal that could be causing you issues. And more importantly, what you can do about it. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about one of these combinations. Let's start with the first few foods on our list that might not be playing nicely with your morning oats. The first one might seem totally innocent. Something many of us have been adding to our oatmeal for years, thinking we're making it healthier or tastier. Dried fruit. Now, don't get me wrong. Dried fruit in moderation can offer some fiber and nutrients. But here's the catch when you mix it generously into your warm oatmeal. Dried fruits are essentially concentrated sugars. When you dry fruit, the water is removed, leaving behind a much higher proportion of sugar per serving compared to fresh fruit. Think about a handful of raisins versus a handful of grapes. The raisins are far sweeter and denser. When you add a generous scoop of dried cranberries, raisins, or chopped dates to your hot oatmeal, you're not just adding sweetness, you're dumping a significant load of simple sugars directly onto a complex carbohydrate base. While the fiber in oatmeal helps slow down sugar absorption to some extent, the sheer amount of concentrated sugar from the dried fruit can still lead to a quicker and higher spike in your blood sugar levels than you might expect, especially if you're dealing with prediabetes or diabetes. For folks over 60, managing blood sugar is often a key health goal. And unknowingly starting the day with a blood sugar roller coaster can leave you feeling tired, irritable, and craving more sugar later in the day. Beyond the blood sugar effect, dried fruits can also be surprisingly hard on digestion for some people. They are high in certain types of sugars and fibers that can ferment in the gut, leading to gas, bloating, and general digestive discomfort when mixed into a heavy, fiber-rich base like oatmeal. It can exacerbate these issues. It's a double whammy: a potential blood sugar spike combined with digestive upset. Instead of dried fruit, try adding fresh or frozen berries. They provide natural sweetness, antioxidants, and fiber without the concentrated sugar load of their dried counterparts. A handful of fresh blueberries or some thawed frozen raspberries stirred in just before serving can give you that lovely burst of flavor and nutrients without the downside. If you really love the chewiness of dried fruit, use a very small amount, almost as a garnish, rather than mixing in a large quantity. Be mindful of the portion size. A little goes a long way with dried fruit. Another thing to consider is the added oils or sugars often found in commercially dried fruits. Always check the ingredients list. Sometimes they're coated in extra sugar or unhealthy oils, which only adds to the problem. Sticking to plain dried fruit without these additions is better. But limiting the quantity is still the most important step. So, that seemingly healthy sprinkle of dried fruit could be a hidden culprit in your morning routine. It's not about eliminating fruit. It's about choosing the right form and quantity to complement your oatmeal, not undermine its benefits. It's a simple swap, but it can make a significant difference in how you feel after breakfast. Now, let's move on to another common oatmeal mix-in that could be causing unexpected trouble: flavored syrups or artificial sweeteners. Many people reach for a drizzle of pancake syrup, corn syrup, or artificial sweeteners to make their oatmeal more palatable, especially if they find plain oatmeal a bit bland. While these might provide sweetness without adding many calories, they come with their own set of issues when mixed with oatmeal. First, let's talk about syrups, particularly high fructose corn syrup or regular pancake syrup, which is often just flavored sugar syrup. Much like dried fruit, these are pure, concentrated sugars, but often without the redeeming fiber or nutrients of fruit. Adding these to your oatmeal is guaranteed to send your blood sugar soaring. This rapid rise and subsequent crash can leave you feeling drained of energy shortly after your breakfast. For individuals managing blood sugar, this is particularly detrimental, potentially contributing to insulin resistance over time. Even for those without diagnosed issues, these sugar spikes can contribute to inflammation in the body, which is linked to numerous age-related health problems. Artificial sweeteners, on the other hand, don't typically cause a blood sugar spike, but they have their own dark side when it comes to gut health and digestion, which are intimately linked to how well we process our food, including oatmeal. Research is increasingly showing that artificial sweeteners can negatively impact the balance of bacteria in your gut microbiome. A healthy gut microbiome is crucial for proper digestion, nutrient absorption, and even immune function. Disrupting this delicate balance with artificial sweeteners mixed into a fiber-rich food like oatmeal can lead to symptoms like gas, bloating, and altered bowel movements. Some people are particularly sensitive to sugar alcohols often used in sugar-free syrups, which can have a laxative effect or cause significant digestive distress. Moreover, relying on intensely sweet flavors, whether from sugar syrups or artificial sweeteners, can perpetuate sugar cravings throughout the day. It trains your palate to expect high levels of sweetness, making less sweet, whole foods seem unappealing. This can make it harder to stick to a healthy diet overall. What are better alternatives? Natural sweeteners used sparingly are a much better choice. A tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or a small spoon of honey can provide sweetness with some potential antioxidants, though still use in moderation due to sugar content. Even better, use natural sources of sweetness that come with fiber and nutrients, like mashing in half a ripe banana or stirring in a spoonful of unsweetened applesauce. Vanilla extract, cinnamon, nutmeg, or other spices can add wonderful flavor without any sugar or artificial ingredients. Just a pinch of cinnamon can make your oatmeal feel much sweeter and warmer. It's about retraining your taste buds to enjoy the natural, subtle sweetness that can come from whole food additions rather than relying on overpowering syrups or artificial compounds. So, while that splash of syrup or sprinkle of artificial sweetener might seem like a harmless way to sweeten your oats, it could be contributing to blood sugar issues and digestive upset you didn't realize were linked to your breakfast. Making a conscious choice to reduce or eliminate these additions is a step towards a more truly healthy bowl of oatmeal. Moving along our list of potentially troublesome oatmeal partners, let's talk about something many people consider a healthy fat source. But when mixed with oatmeal, it can sometimes cause digestive issues. Large amounts of nut butter or nuts. Nuts and nut butters like peanut butter, almond butter, or cashew butter are fantastic sources of healthy fats, protein, and fiber. They can certainly make oatmeal more satisfying and add wonderful flavor. However, they are also very dense and high in fat. While fat is essential, consuming a large amount of fat alongside a high-fiber complex carbohydrate like oatmeal can sometimes slow down digestion considerably for some individuals, leading to a feeling of heaviness, bloating, or even indigestion. Think about it, both oatmeal and nut butter require significant digestive effort. When you combine them in a large quantity, your digestive system has a lot of work to do all at once. For people with slower digestive motility, which can be more common as we age, this combination can sit in the stomach longer than is comfortable. The key here is moderation and preparation. Adding just a tablespoon or two of nut butter or a small sprinkle of chopped nuts can provide flavor and nutrients without overwhelming your digestive system. If you find that even moderate amounts cause issues, Try soaking your nuts overnight beforehand. Soaking can help break down some of the phytic acid, which is an anti-nutrient found in nuts and oats, though less problematic, potentially making them easier to digest. Another consideration is the type of nut butter. Opt for natural nut butters with minimal ingredients, just nuts and maybe a little salt. Avoid those with added sugars or hydrogenated oils, as these can contribute to inflammation and other health issues beyond the digestive upset from the fat content. Spreading a thin layer of nut butter on top of your oatmeal, rather than stirring a large blob into the mix, might also help manage portion size and distribution, potentially making it easier to digest. It's not about avoiding these nutritious additions altogether, but being mindful of the quantity and how your body responds. Pay attention to how you feel an hour or two after eating your oatmeal. If you consistently feel heavy or bloated after adding a large amount of nut butter or nuts, experiment with reducing the quantity or trying the soaking method for nuts. Finding the right balance is key to enjoying the benefits of both oatmeal and nuts without the digestive discomfort. Next on our list is a popular dairy addition that can cause problems for a surprising number of people, especially as they get older. Cow's milk, specifically for those with lactose intolerance or sensitivity. While many people tolerate milk just fine, lactose intolerance becomes more common with age. Lactose is the sugar found in milk, and it requires an enzyme called lactase to be properly digested in the small intestine. As we get older, our bodies produce less lactase, making it harder to break down lactose. When undigested lactose reaches the large intestine, it ferments, producing gas, bloating, stomach cramps, and diarrhea. Mixing milk into your warm oatmeal provides the perfect vehicle for this potential digestive upset. The warm environment might even speed up the process for some. While these symptoms aren't toxic in the sense of poisoning, they are certainly uncomfortable and can make you feel unwell, detracting from the health benefits you hope to gain from your oatmeal. Many people might not even realize their post-oatmeal discomfort is due to the milk because they tolerate smaller amounts of dairy elsewhere. But a whole bowl soaked in milk can be enough to trigger symptoms if you suspect cow's milk might be causing you issues. There are many excellent non-dairy alternatives available that mix beautifully with oatmeal. Almond milk, soy milk, opt for unsweetened, oat milk, and coconut milk are all popular choices. Unsweetened varieties are best to avoid adding extra sugar. These alternatives provide the creamy texture you might enjoy without the lactose. Another option is to use lactose-free cow's milk, which has the lactase enzyme added to it. Pay attention to how you feel after using different types of milk. If switching from regular cow's milk to a lactose-free or plant-based alternative resolves your digestive issues after eating oatmeal, you've likely found your culprit. It's a simple change, but it can make a world of difference in turning your potentially uncomfortable breakfast into a soothing and truly beneficial one. Don't feel pressured to use traditional cow's milk if it doesn't agree with you. There are plenty of delicious and healthy options out there. Let's talk about a common sweetener that might be hiding in plain sight and causing you trouble when mixed with your oats. Agave nectar, or high fructose sweeteners. Agave nectar was once touted as a healthy, low glycemic alternative to sugar. However, it's often highly processed and contains a very high percentage of fructose, sometimes even more than high fructose corn syrup. While fructose doesn't cause the immediate blood sugar spike that glucose does, metabolizing large amounts of fructose puts a strain on your liver. Over time, excessive fructose consumption is linked to various health issues, including non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, increased levels of triglycerides, a type of fat in the blood, and insulin resistance. When you stir a generous amount of agave nectar or other high fructose sweeteners into your oatmeal, you're adding a significant metabolic burden, especially on your liver. For those over 60, liver health and metabolic health are crucial. While oatmeal is providing wonderful fiber and complex carbohydrates, pairing it with concentrated fructose can counteract some of those benefits and potentially contribute to metabolic problems. Beyond the liver impact, High amounts of fructose can also contribute to digestive discomfort for some people. Fructose malabsorption is a condition where the small intestine doesn't efficiently absorb fructose. The unabsorbed fructose travels to the large intestine, where it ferments, leading to gas, bloating, pain, and diarrhea. While not everyone has this condition, consuming very high amounts of fructose can trigger similar symptoms even in those without a clinical diagnosis. So that seemingly healthy drizzle of agave could be contributing to both metabolic strain and digestive upset. Again, the key here is to minimize added sugars, especially those high in fructose. As mentioned before, natural sweeteners like small amounts of maple syrup or honey are slightly better options than high fructose sweeteners. But using whole food sources of sweetness like mashed banana, berries, or unsweetened applesauce is ideal. Spices like cinnamon and nutmeg can also add perceived sweetness and depth of flavor without any added sugar. It's about moving away from the habit of needing intense sweetness to enjoy your oatmeal and appreciating the natural flavors that come through when you use whole food ingredients. Be wary of products marketed as healthy sweeteners. Always look at the nutritional information and ingredients list. The simpler, the better. And ideally, sweetness should come from whole fruits used in moderation. And here's one that might truly surprise you. Something very common that can interact with beneficial compounds in your oatmeal and reduce their effectiveness. Coffee. When consumed immediately alongside your oatmeal. Many of us enjoy a warm cup of coffee with our breakfast, and that often includes oatmeal. However, coffee contains compounds called tannins and polyphenols. While these are often considered beneficial antioxidants, they can also bind to certain minerals, particularly iron and zinc, making them harder for your body to absorb. Oatmeal contains iron, and while it's non-heme iron, which is less easily absorbed than heme iron from animal sources, it's still a valuable contribution, especially for vegetarians or vegans. Zinc is also an important mineral found in oats, crucial for immune function and many metabolic processes. Drinking a cup of coffee right with your oatmeal can significantly reduce the amount of iron and zinc you absorb from that meal. While a single instance isn't a big deal, doing this every morning can potentially lead to deficiencies over time, especially if your overall diet isn't rich in these minerals. It's not that coffee turns the oatmeal toxic oats in the way the other combinations might cause immediate discomfort or metabolic issues, but it makes your seemingly healthy bowl of oatmeal less effective at providing the nutrients you thought you were getting. You're essentially canceling out some of the goodness. The solution here is simple timing. You don't have to give up your morning coffee. Just try to create a bit of separation between drinking your coffee and eating your oatmeal. Aim to have your coffee at least 30 minutes before or an hour after you finish your oatmeal. This allows your digestive system some time to process the minerals from the oats before the tannins and polyphenols from the coffee are introduced in large quantities. This small adjustment can help ensure you're getting the maximum nutritional benefit from your healthy breakfast. It's a surprising interaction. Isn't it something as common as coffee can subtly undermine the nutritional value of your oatmeal? Awareness is key, and a simple timing change is all that's needed. So you see, while oatmeal itself is a wonderful base, packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, the magic, and sometimes the trouble, is often in what we choose to add to it. We've talked about how common additions like concentrated dried fruits and high fructose sweeteners can lead to blood sugar spikes and metabolic strain. How large amounts of dense nuts or nut butters and lactose from cow's milk can cause digestive upset. And how even your morning coffee can reduce the absorption of important minerals like iron and zinc. It's not about fear-mongering. It's about empowering you with knowledge so you can make the best choices for your body as you enjoy your breakfast. You might have been experiencing some of these subtle discomforts or feeling like your healthy breakfast wasn't quite living up to its promise. And now, you have a better understanding of why that might be. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Swapping dried fruit for fresh berries. Choosing natural or no sweeteners over syrups and artificial options. Being mindful of nut butter portions. opting for lactose-free milk alternatives if needed. And simply adjusting the timing of your morning coffee can transform your oatmeal from a potentially problematic meal into a truly nourishing and comfortable start to your day. It's about being a detective with your own body, paying attention to how different foods and combinations make you feel. Don't be afraid to experiment with healthier mix-ins like chia seeds, flax seeds, a sprinkle of cinnamon, vanilla extract, or a swirl of unsweetened applesauce. These add flavor and nutrients without the downsides we discussed. We would absolutely love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed feeling unwell after eating oatmeal with certain additions? What are your favorite healthy things to mix into your oatmeal? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help others in our community. If you found this information helpful and want to learn more about making simple, positive changes for your health as you age, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We share new videos every week packed with practical tips and information to help you live your best life. We believe that age is just a number, and with the right knowledge and habits, you can continue to thrive and feel fantastic every single day. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of our community. Live your best life at every age.